Like, comment, subscribe, and let's do this.
Economists think that they can build.
Let's go, girls.
He is shocked.
Sorry about that.
So this was a very popular one, which would go like this. My old man said, follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way.
It's catchy, I'm not gonna lie.
It was very popular.
So why was that considered entertaining? Why did they fire shells at each other? Because shells wouldn't really hurt, would they? Unless they were those razor clam shells, because they're quite sharp, aren't they?
Well, these weren't seashells.
Shelley's one of the greatest poets in English literature.
I'm assuming they were talking about like weapons, not like actual like shells. I'm assuming they were talking about like weapons.
If Shelley's one of the greatest poets in English literature, how come nobody gives a shit about him today?
That's a complicated question.
Austen wrote novels, which are books, which look like this on the outside and this on the inside, filled with words it's almost impossible to care about. Queen Victoria was born in 1819, in the usual way, out of a woman. It was hard to tell that this infant would grow up to be queen because her crown hadn't yet formed. It was just hair, which must have been a relief to her mother as she was pushing her
Oh my
out.
god.
Thanks to the big sell-off, anyone could get rich, providing they had loads of spare money already, a system still in use to this day.
Why do you want to turn a pig into
Wow.
a cow?
Man, I didn't hear what she said. I was just so focused on her background. Like it looks movie-esque. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't look real. It looks like it was rendered in from a movie. Where is this?
Which must have been a relief to her mother as she was pushing her out. Thanks to the big sell-off, anyone could get rich, providing they had loads of spare money already, a system still in use to this day.
Why do you want to turn a pig into a cow?
Just see what it's like. Since his Victorian origins, Sherlock Holmes himself has regenerated many times and in many different forms throughout history, from drawings to black and white man, to a black and white man in colour, into a cricketer, and even an alien. Who was the Darth Vader of the Empire? Was it Queen Victoria?
You probably wouldn't have had anyone quite as powerful as Darth Vader, as, if you like, a supreme leader.
What about Luke Skywalker?
I think many people would like to have undertaken a Skywalker-like role as a saviour, but there probably weren't too many of those around.
Chewbacca?
No, I think that's stretching it.
He was one of the greatest orators of all time, and some of the phrases he used still resonate today, such as finest hour, never surrender, and of course, we shall fight them bitches.
What?
I'm Doran Swade. I'm an historian of computing, and I was responsible for building this engine.
So what games does it have?
It doesn't have any games.
It must have like some basic games like Mario Kart or Snake or
I'm afraid not.
Patience, like the shittest one. It must have Patience.
I'm afraid it doesn't.
It doesn't have any games.
None whatever. It just does mathematical calculation.
I'll choose important.
So it's not significant. Who's wrong?
Ron, is there a Ron?
Wait, I gotta see that again. Wait. He just broke character.
Ron, is there a Ron?
Yeah, the one that wrote all the poems and...
I'm sorry. Where is it?
Calculation.
I'll choose important.
So it's not significant. Who's Ron?
Ron, is there a Ron?
Yeah, the one that wrote all the poems and signed them by Ron.
Byron.
Yeah, that was his family name, Byron. Lord George Byron.
Oh, right, okay. Jane
Byron.
Austen died in 1817, only to be reincarnated 200 years later in the form of this banknote. The Victorians had horse-drawn buses, but you never see horses drawing anything these days, do you? When did they lose the ability to draw? Is it when their hands sort of turned into hooves? On his journey, he visited the Noel Gallagher's Islands and came up with a theory that animals that were dead were less likely to reproduce than ones that were alive. The first Sherlock Holmes story was such a hit, Conan Doyle wrote 55 sequels, which is 4 more than The Fast and the Furious. Although in the Sherlock Holmes stories, some stuff happens that isn't skidding. Eventually, Darwin evolved himself into a corpse. He was buried here in Westminster Abbey before a...
That's so wrong, man. Did you hear what she said?
55
I didn't expect
sequels, which is 4 more than The Fast and the Furious. Although in the Sherlock Holmes stories, some stuff happens that isn't skidding. Eventually, Darwin evolved himself into a corpse. He was buried here in Westminster Abbey before evolving again into worms and dust. Why did they call World War One World War One? It's quite pessimistic numbering, isn't it? Or did they just know it was the start
first
of
one
the
was
franchise?
the Great War.
We don't even know if Jack the Ripper was his real name or just a nick.
The first one was the Great War, that's all I know. And then the second one happened. And then they called it World War II, which meant the first one had to be called World War One. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody put that in the comments.
Isn't it? Or did they just know it was the start of a franchise? We don't even know if Jack the Ripper was his real name or just a nickname like 50 Cent. We don't know when he died or if he died. It's chilling to think that Jack the Ripper could still be alive today, living somewhere out there under his real name. Maybe he's one of your friends or neighbours, or maybe he's you. Which was your favourite of the romantics?
Imagine he's watching that.
Probably Byron, I would think. Byron was the bad boy of the romantic poets. It's thought that he probably slept with his sister and with most other women in England.
He was your favourite?
Yeah.
The one who slept with his sister?
Well, it's not on that basis that I like him. I was just giving you a bit of background.
Emmerdale Pankhurst thought women could be more than just wives and mothers, so she deliberately only had 5 children, leaving her loads of time for politics. Radio was an exciting new invention that made it possible to hear other people's voices in your living room without the use of thin walls or a devastating mental condition. Eventually, women did get the vote after the next bit of history, but I can't skip past the next bit because the next bit is war, and men will find that interesting.
Along the way, I'll be shouting at helicopters.
The First World War was started by the killing of one man, Franz Ferdinand. You've probably never heard of him, or the band named after him, but he was dead important, by which I mean he was only important when he was dead. Luckily, a man called John Logie Baird was about to give birth to television, not literally out of his vagina, but metaphorically out of his shed. Inspector Phillips.
What is Inspector Phillips?
Oh, I made that one up. That was just a trick question.
Okay, well, it didn't work.
Sounds real though, doesn't it? Inspector Phillips.
No, I instantly knew that it wasn't real.
Less successful with the Suez Crisis.
What was up with the sewers? Did someone try to flush something that was awful?
No, the Suez Canal.
What, the canals used to be sewers? That's disgusting.
No, Suez. It's a place.
All right. Luckily, Britain had a hero on its side, a man whose name will never be forgotten, Winston Churchill. In the war, there were lots of songs taking the piss out of Hitler.
Did I get her right? Did she say Winston Churchill?
Had a hero on its side, a man whose name will never be forgotten, Winston Churchill. In the war, there were lots of songs taking the piss out of Hitler, weren't there? How come they don't sing those sorts of songs anymore?
Well, he's not around anymore, so it's not so amusing.
Where is he?
Well, he's dead.
He's dead?
Yes.
Oh, right, so it'd be disrespectful to...
Well, not so much disrespectful as pointless, really.
Pointless.
A bit pointless.
Yeah. What made the war harder was that we didn't know what the Germans were planning, because they said it in a sort of code language known as German. And also, walking somewhere impressive with my mouth shut, while my voice speaks anyway, like I'm talking aloud in my own head. During this Suez crisis, events in Suez reached crisis point. More research needed, make sure script amended before voiceover record. But Heath soon found himself facing a financial crisis, the likes of which the world only sees about every 10 years or so. Was there a mini skirt for men? You know, like trousers that just stopped under the balls?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a miniskirt for men.
That seems like a shame.
For whom?
For men. On my Odyssey, I'll be starting...
Oh my god, imagine if that did like exist and it was a thing people wore outside.
sentences in one location.
And finishing them in another.
Is that the end? Oh my god, that was short. 7 minutes. I will definitely be reacting to another one. But that was funny, guys. And if anyone wants me to react to any of her videos, any specific video, put the links in the comments so that I can know which ones you want me to react to. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.